Welcome back, Pixel Nation Comics Division here. How the hell are ya? Whew, this article is coming from The Independent. Holy fuck, is it pretty goddamn stupid. I'm pretty sure I killed some brain cells just reading it. Armie Hammer interview. Straight white maleness is threatening everyone who is not a straight white man. Oh, for the love of fuck, why can't actors be normal people? Seriously, folks, are they passing around brain slugs in Hollywood? Anyway, if there ever was a real-world intellect devourer, it would be this article. If you know anything about me, you know what I think about the concept of privilege. It's total bullshit. Personally, I view it as original sin in the religion of intersectionality. And quite frankly, it's also sexist and racist as fuck. The only privilege is money, and it doesn't know sex or skin color. And guess what, folks? Armie Hammer has it in spades. Now, I'm not exactly sure why straight white maleness is a threat to everyone, because he really doesn't cite any specific details, other than his own white guilt, I suppose. Oh boy, everyone, has Armie Hammer been chewed up and spit out by the white guilt machine. It's actually pretty sad and pathetic. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this article. Armie Hammer has his feet up on the table, leaning far back in his chair, fingers interlocked. The 32-year-old is musing on straight white male privilege. How do straight white men, he begins, react to other white men who no longer act how they believe straight white men should act? What the fuck does that even mean? How exactly are straight white men supposed to act? I mean, that's pretty fucking generic in my opinion. It's not like we're all clones that believe the same thing. I guess this is what you get when you have the collectivist mentality, and I guess the end result is fuck individuality. Yes, all of us white men, we're all the same. Fucking stupid. Every time he says the words straight white men, he pronounces the T's, enunciating the words as if they were bitter on his tongue. And that is the exercising of your straight white male privilege. How exactly does one exercise their straight white male privilege? Inquiring minds want to know. Do you go and take it to the gym? Doing some push-ups with it? Maybe grunt really loudly while doing some lifting? I know this is not exactly what he meant, but the analogy is equally as stupid as what he's saying. All the things that straight white men do not only take for granted, but also are expected to capitalize on. Capitalize on what exactly? Oh, by the way, I do want to point out, lady who wrote the article, you misspelled capitalized. Modern journalism. I guess I must be exercising my straight white male privilege with spell check. If you see a straight white man not acting like that, not assuming his privilege, it's very threatening to your straight white maleness, he continues. What is straight white maleness if not threatening to everyone else who is not a straight white man? If you don't assume your privilege, the only people you harm are the people who actively take advantage of it. Okay, folks, I must be taking dum-dum pills because I have no idea what that fucking means. Clearly, this concept must be so foreign to me that his statements make absolutely no sense. It's like we're not even speaking the same fucking language. Hell, at this point, he might as well be an alien from another planet. Does he ever find himself exploiting his privilege still? Yeah. I mean, there are things all the time that I catch myself doing. Case in point, sitting here with my feet on the table. He says, offended by himself, "Oh my god, how horrible, you put your feet on the table." How exactly is that straight white male privilege? I mean, you're literally doing something anybody can fucking do. I mean, like, I'm just so comfortable and relaxed, but like, there are things all the time I catch myself doing and I think, wait a second, is this white privilege? Yeah, I think it is white privilege. Oh my god, I'm a horrible person for being the person. Look at what I'm doing. Yeesh. His size 15s stay on the table. I bet he thinks to himself, I'm picking my nose in the car. Oh my god, white privilege. I'm using toilet paper to wipe my ass. Oh my god, white privilege. I do things literally anybody can do. Oh my god, white privilege. Translation, I hate myself for being white. So, I'm skipping ahead in the article. I don't exactly want to read everything, but to give you some context here, Armie Hammer is going to be playing Ruth Bader Ginsburg's husband, Martin, in the film on the basis of sex. As Martin, a tax lawyer who worked with his wife on a case, Hammer proudly plays second fiddle to Jones's Ruth. This statement is stupid. It really is. I mean, the movie's about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So, yeah, obviously he's not the main character. Duh. You know what, Armie? We have had feature films that have women as the leads for quite some time now. Why is this a fucking shock to you? Oh my god, this dude has problems. It's sad, folks. It really is. To the film's potential financiers, it was alien to see such a supportive on-screen husband. Wow. Why is that? I wonder. It's as if not all men are pieces of shit. Screenwriter Daniel Stiepelman recently disclosed that backers offered to fund the film only if Martin was rewritten as angrier or less understanding. Maybe he should threaten to divorce his wife if she didn't drop the case. Why does Hollywood always feel the need to go and rewrite history in order to fit some kind of ideological narrative? Hey, you know this Martin fellow, he's a real swell guy. Well, fuck it, we gotta make him evil. We can't have a man be good. When the movie's about a strong woman, she has to be motivated by a man bad. God forbid he actually be supportive of his wife. I must admit, I was waiting for Martin to have some sort of emasculating strop over his wife's brilliance. Oh, then your mind is not as dark as mine, he says, because as I was reading it, I was like, this guy's amazing. This guy's incredible. This guy is such a fantastic husband and father. He must be a fucking serial killer like Ted Bundy. What the fuck? This is the first place you go? Wow, the identity politics, they've gotten to you, good man. Seriously, dude, show me on the doll where the bad feminist touched you. This guy is such a fantastic husband and father. The natural conclusion must be that he has some kind of dark secret, like raping and murdering women or something. This shit is fucking insane. Are you listening to yourself, Armie? That's like someone saying, you know what, that Armie Hammer guy, he's swell. He acknowledges his straight white male privilege and is a strong feminist ally. You know what? He must be a secret racist. You know, running around the dead of night lynching black people. My god. This is next level retard logic. And I know I'm at the risk of repeating myself yet again. Why is it such a surprise that a man would support his wife? Holy fucking shit. It's as if men actually give a shit about their wives. My god, that is so super unheard of. He was pleasantly surprised when he reached the end. The body count was still 0. And the couple were a force to be reckoned with. Again, why is this surprising? Fucking stupid. They had pure equality in the relationship, when not only was it not the done thing, he says, but it was the farthest thing from what was expected. There was the storied history of men the mammoth hunters. Men traditionally were the mammoth hunters, anthropologically speaking, just throwing that out there, by the way. And these band-level societies, they also had equality. It was called egalitarianism. And there's your anthropology lesson for the day. The more you know. And the women stayed home, cooking and cleaning and taking care of the children. But in reality, if you look at that time, yeah, men went to work, but they were terribly dysfunctional, and women stayed at home, and were upset about the pigeonhole that they'd been put in. There's a reason that prescription pills were highly prescribed at that time, and men were basically functional alcoholics. Wow, care to generalize much? Now, I'm not an expert on how much day drinking was done during the 50s and 60s, but I kinda get the feeling like this is a trope. Maybe Armie watched one too many episodes of Mad Men. Though I'm sure this did happen. Just not on the scale that is being portrayed in media. It's kinda like how everyone thinks that homosexuality was really running rampant in Greece. Yeah, it was there. Just not to the level that you're probably thinking. Admittedly, I didn't do a whole lot of research on this topic, but I did find an article, Trends in Per Capita Alcohol Consumption and Gender-Specific Suicide Mortality Rates, 1950 to 2002. The per capita alcohol consumption increased up till the early 1980s, peaking in 1981, and then decreased and leveled off for the remainder of the period. So people were buying and consuming more alcohol in the early 80s than they were in the 50s. So take it what it's worth, folks. I'm not exactly a numbers guy. I do have a link to the article in the description if you want to go and check it out for yourself. Now there's a few things I want to mention from the Bounding into Comics article. Rumored Batman actor Armie Hammer calls straight white maleness threatening. There's a link to another article by The Guardian. Gains in women's rights haven't made women happier. Why is that? And there's also a link to a study called The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness, which shows that since the sexual revolution in the 1970s, the rate of happiness for women has been going down, not up. Summation. Despite having increased rights and equality in the workplace, women are more miserable than ever. Hooray, ladies! You've done it! You're officially just as stressed out and miserable as men are. In one scene, Martin's boss says to Ruth, "You are a smart girl, Ruthie. You married a star." It reminded me of a few other films released recently, such as The Wife and Colette, in which women don't get the credit they deserve. So, why can't they both be stars in their own right? My problem with this regressive ideology is it has to be a zero-sum game. If men are winning, women have to lose. And if women are winning, men have to lose. That, my friends, makes no goddamn sense. Both equally have the capacity to win or fail on their own merit. However, I can understand the frustration of being overshadowed by your more famous spouse. Granted, you've probably never heard of Martin Ginsburg till now, but at least he has his own Wikipedia page. It's an incredibly powerful plot point, says Hammer, and I see it all the time in my own personal life, where my wife, who is one of the smartest and so much more harder working, and so much more successful in many different ways than I am, still gets introduced or written about as Armie Hammer's wife, when in reality, I'm lucky to be her husband. Hammer has been married to Elizabeth Chambers. Who? I'm not being hyperbolic here, folks. I have no idea who she is. I actually had to go and look her up. If she's so much smarter, funnier, better than you, then why doesn't she have her own Wikipedia page? If you go and search for Elizabeth Chambers, you'll actually be redirected to Armie Hammer's page. Just throwing that out there, folks. Armie has 42 credits as an actor, while his wife only has 9. So yes, you are way more famous, and you're going to overshadow her. There's at least 4 things I can name that you've been in without looking them up. The TV show Reaper, Social Network, The Lone Ranger, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I'm sure that Elizabeth is successful in her own right. After all, star power and fame isn't everything. But if we're going off of pure name recognition here, I've never heard of her. My wife is an incredibly strong and powerful woman who is not only able to hold down multiple jobs and create a home environment, he says, but is also an exemplary mother and role model. Not only to the children, but to me as well. Well, good for her. A lot of women do this. That's really not unique just to her. If she got the due credit that she deserved, then I would be Elizabeth Chambers' husband. Oh my god. As he says while he's whipping himself and crying. Dude, you are way more famous than she is. Get over it. By the way, he says, in Proximus Excitement, when you write up the article, you should write something about Elizabeth Chambers' husband, Armie Hammer. He is thrilled with the idea. And yes, she actually does this. Oh, I forgot to mention his latest movie. The film Masters of Sex, where Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Jack Kevorkian conduct sexual experiments while Martin Ginsburg watches. Okay, so I'm jumping ahead yet again. People are asking, should straight actors take on LGBTQA plus elemental PXYZ roles? Yes, it's called acting. Oh my god. Just like how a gay actor can portray someone who's straight? I don't know. I'm certainly not the authority on that. But we are a much more sensitive and evolved world now than... I mean, look, people used to don blackface in movies, and that was acceptable. Not really. And now we say, you can't fucking do that. Okay, folks, I have a little song for you. Repeat after me. One of these things is not like the other. First off, Portraying a gay person is not the same thing as trying to change your race. And even then, I will make the point that Robert Downey Jr. was awesome in Tropic Thunder, and that is completely different than what was done in Birth of a Nation, which was racist as fuck. Yes, minstrel shows that were portraying African Americans in a very, very negative light is racist as fuck. Not the same thing. And I think that's right. I completely agree with that, but I don't know. I guess the answer is, I don't know, he concludes, looking a little dismayed. Dude, you are so fucking broken as a human being. At least now we have these conversations, I say. It's important to think about these things. Just like it's important that he interrogates his own privilege. I'll be honest with you folks, I'm not really sure how to end this video, or what my final thoughts are. On the fact that Armie Hammer's one fucked up guy, fucked up in the head? Seriously, this is like some cult-like behavior. Someone dunked his brain in a tub, and then gave him a good cerebral scrub. And this is the guy that's probably gonna be playing Batman. Looks like we're probably gonna be looking forward to another Captain Marvel incident from Mr. Hammer. So what are your thoughts, folks? Do you believe in any of this privilege nonsense? Leave a comment below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, or you can even hate like it. Bash that bell for instant notifications. If it still works, I have no idea. Subscribe for more of my crappy content and stupid opinions. I'll see you next time.